Good morning, everybody. This is Todd with the Forex Nitty Gritty Insiders Daily video. Hope things are going well for you and the market is treating you well. We just kind of came through the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday yesterday, and so the markets were a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more difficult to read, maybe. It was also Inauguration Day. And there was probably a lot of people watching that in addition to taking some time off. What I wanted to do today is kind of get back and look at some of the basic concepts here of what we need to be looking at when we're trading. And that, of course, is looking at the trends and support and resistance. So what I'm going to do is just draw some things on here that would give us maybe an indication of where those levels of support and resistance might be within the trend. Now, first of all, we can identify the trend by identifying, a channel that it's currently running in. We could also put on a moving average, 40-period simple moving average, and look at the direction that it's going. You can see that it's pointing down. The angle of the channel is moving down. And so in this instance, what we've got is we've got a pair, the US CAD, on the daily chart that has some downward resistance, downward support, and we're currently sitting at this level of resistance. These are where the sellers are going to come in, or possibly come in. We don't know for sure. And so a move below the lowest low of the last three, well, this is a current day's candle here, so it's right back in here. But once we get this candle to close, we're going to move that all the way up to here to put our entry, or at least tell us that the momentum now has shifted from the upside to the downside. Now, we don't necessarily have to trade the daily charts, but if we see that it meets the criteria for a bearish entry or to sell on this, well, then we can take that and go down to the shorter terms and start to look for some shorter term trading opportunities and possibilities for our trades there. So that's one thing and one reason why we look at the daily charts. Now, we can also look at prior highs, prior lows as areas of support and resistance, and that is perfectly fine to do. We just need to be able to pick out those areas that we think are most relevant to our current situation, what's currently happening on the charts. So kind of a bearish US CAD here. Let's go to the US Japanese yen. Without looking at this, we probably can guess that it's been trending up, and you can see how strong that's been moving up. We could put a channel on there. We could use, let's pull out our envelope, and we can look at this envelope as a direction of what's happening. Now, this you'd have to play around with a little bit, but you can see that we can make it wide enough to where it actually looks like a channel, similar to a Bollinger Band, although not exactly. And you can get an idea of the trend that's happening there. Now, we've yet to make a lower high or a lower low, so it's still in a situation where it's would be considered trending up from the price action, in addition to looking at the trends and the channels and all that. We are pulling back towards an area of support, so looking for a bounce up from that would be a possibility. Pound dollar. Go to my envelope. You can see a couple of interesting things here. as we look at the chart itself, we have really a lot less in the way of direction right now. We had kind of a triangle formation, and it broke through that. When that broke through that, we certainly became more bearish. Now we're sitting kind of at an area where the market is going to act as possible support. So this one's a little bit more choppy in how it's acting at this point. Here's the US Swiss franc. You can see that we had a pretty good base here being set. We had some old support, acted as some resistance here. Possibly going to see that being tested. Moving average is going up, so a little bit more choppy here than what we'd like to see. Here is the Aussie dollar, another big move up today, really kind of in an upward trend, although as we look back here, you can see that we've got some significant areas of resistance overhead. So once it breaks above this basically 106 level, that's where we're going to see that resistance being broken. Last but not least, the euro US dollar. As we zoom in on this, we can see the trend. Again, we can, draw a pretty decent channel here. Trend is moving up. Although we are kind of at the high level here, we can see that it possibly could pull back. Here is an example where we're getting some consolidation. If we go down to our hourly chart, let's get to the current time here. You can really see this kind of triangle formation that it's making as it's consolidating. Waiting for and looking for a breakout here would be a possible trade looking shorter term. So take some time to review that. Make sure you understand and are comfortable with where things are sitting from a standpoint of the support, resistance, the trend on the daily charts, so that can help you trade on the shorter term. All right, so if you have questions about that, feel free to let me know. If not, we'll be back tomorrow to take a look at how the markets are moving and look for some possible examples of the simple trading method. So until then, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.